I came up here with the idea to take layers photos, so photos of layers, and I wanted to share with you guys this compositional element, which is layers, and how you can take photos of that and how you can make it even more interested in what type of gear you need. So I brought this beast of a lens with me, and yeah, well, as you can see, it's just cloudy and foggy underneath, so there are actually no layers to take photos of. Anyway, you know what? I'm gonna give it a try. I had to switch my microphone because the other one, the Rode Wireless Pro, got out of, no, the Rode Wireless Go ran out of battery, so I cannot have it here. So I hope you guys can still hear me. Anyway, I'm gonna try and take a photo of a layer composition just as well. Now, a couple of things you have to know when you take photos of layers. So I'm gonna go through 3 segments in this video. So what you have to do to be able to take photos, how you can then enhance those photos, give them a little bit more meaning and a little bit more story, and what type of gear you should, you know, drag along up the mountain to actually be able to take that beautiful compressed shot. So first thing, I had to climb a mountain today, and it's not really a mountain, but I had to hike up here. And the reason why I had to do this, well, first of all, if you're a landscape photographer, chances are you're gonna hike a lot. So if you're new to photography, if you want to be a landscape photographer, hiking is part of the job description just as well. But you have to be higher than the layers underneath, so this way you see layers stacking one behind the other. Now that's really obvious. The more important thing is time of day you choose to come up here. Now, I came here in the morning with the hope to have a kind of clear morning day, but those hazy, foggy valley, so the fog would stay in the valley, it's not cover like everything. So time of day and the location is very important. Second thing I want to talk about is how you can enhance your layer shot. So if you just take a photo of layers, now naturally the more layers you have, the better the shot. So if you take a photo with 10 layers, that's cool, and then somebody says, you know, my photo has 20 layers, so it's much better. But you know, it's not a competition of how much layers you can achieve, but you know, the more the better. And if you can manage to pull off 20 layers in one shot, well, that's probably gonna win a couple of photography awards anyway. What you can also do is you can add some sort of story and some sort of subject to a layer photo. So if you look at this photo, for example, I've included a tree, a subject, and just have the layers as a beautiful, you know, backdrop or background. But what I've also did, I've actually made a silhouette of that tree. So I've added another compositional element. So now I have layers, I have a subject, I have a silhouette, so 2 compositional elements, and I've placed the subject in the bottom left corner, in the bottom left third. So this is the third compositional element, which is the rule of thirds. And because I've added multiple compositional elements in one photo, the photo just looks so much better, and you cannot deny that it's an awesome photo. Yeah, well, anyway, adding a subject to a photo where you have layers is going to give a little bit more depth and story to the whole shot. And in this case, for instance, I've added this little church on top of that hill, silhouetted beautifully by the layers in the back. The interesting thing is that this church is actually more like a cathedral, but you don't really know that, so it's just an object on top of a hill, but it's kind of contrasted in terms of size to the layers in the back. And I could achieve this because I had a telephoto lens, and this is where I'm going to talk a little bit about the gear. A telephoto lens is probably going to be a necessary thing which you are going to need to compress those layers, bring the layers closer if you have a subject, for instance, or if you just want to stack the layers one on top of the other. So for instance, I'm using a 100 to 300 millimeter super telephoto lens. This is a micro four thirds lens, which means that this is 200 to 600 equivalent full frame. Now, if you can imagine, if I was to carry a 600 millimeter full frame lens, which is like this big, you know, bulky, heavy, expensive, up this hill, up this mountain, I would probably not do that unless somebody's gonna pay me, you know, a lot of money to come up here with that big piece of glass. So having a micro four thirds system is really beneficial in these types of scenarios. thanks for watching, guys. I hope you found this video interesting and entertaining, somewhat informative. If you like this type of content, please feel free to subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and yeah, I have a whole list of videos right here all about learning photography, so check it out just as well. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time.